So update on Banana Island. Apparently the story I told yesterday was actually right. The federal government is trying to extend Banana Island.
So before we go ahead on this video, let's see the story he told the day before.
So yesterday, reports came out that armed men laid siege on Banana Island, blocking the gate, preventing entry and exit, and this lasted for hours. And there are multiple reports as to what happened. A couple of people I spoke with that live in Banana Island said the only thing they knew was that they were told federal government was coming to demolish their clubhouse, the clubhouse that the state governor launched himself. Other reports said that EFCC was the one that closed the place, wanted to arrest somebody. However, the story that made the most sense was the report by Business Day. Business Day said that the federal government came to Banana Island to create access road to a new island they want to create called Apple Island. No jokes, Apple Island. I know we have orange, we have banana. Now they want to create apple, maybe mango, and the rest are coming up. Anyway.
So let's start from there, Mercy. Before we obviously play the video. Banana Island itself is a product of controversy. Seeing that it's littered with so much controversy, this is a new one, obviously. And then when we continue to play the video by this guy, Durubond, he says that Banana Island was a product of annexing some other parts of Ikoyi. So essentially, if they are filling it up, what that does is that it wipes away the privacy and the value of all of the houses along there.
On Zone J.
And I don't think...
And that's where Mike Adenuga's house is.
I don't think Mike is about to let that happen. Because I personally have been very, very concerned and worried about the rate in which there's just so much sand filling in Lagos. There's a lot. Even Makoko has recently been sand filled. And I came across this video, and we're going to play this video. The Minister of Works was talking about it. Let's play this video.
And I also saw along the line a very serious dredging along Top Mainland Bridge. Notwithstanding that Federal Executive Council about 4 months back banned dredging, nationwide, any form of dredging, 10-kilometer radius from all bridges in Nigeria. So I was very shocked to see that dredging is still taking place. And I'm told that the person has been arrested. I want to hand them such people when they hand them over to me, to the law enforcement agents, because it's defilement of the Federal Executive Council directive chaired by Mr. President. And the punishment is very, very heavy. The dredging of sand along seas and rivers is very dangerous, because all the pipes in Lagos State were executed through skin friction, which means that it is the sand that is holding the pipes and holding the bridge. And so if we now go ahead to continue to excavate these sands, it's dangerous. At the Top Mainland Bridge, we have installed a camera, to observe what is going on top and also under the water, and so under the bridge. And so we're going to be looking at that for all the bridges in Lagos.
I feel like they will implement it because it's a government case. It's not as if it's developer and developer fighting. It's the government against the people.
Apparently, let's continue watching. I don't know if it's the military or the federal government.
Statement by the financial secretary of the Banana Island Resident Association. He says, today's invasion and demolition of parts of our beloved estates by the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is indeed a trying time for us all. This struggle is about protecting our rights, safeguarding the value of our properties, and preserving the integrity of our estate for the future. Over the years, there have been repeated attempts by certain individuals to create access through our estate, particularly via the waterfront, in a bid to establish another estate. He recalled that in each of those attempts, the residents had consistently and successfully resisted them, assuring that they would continue to do so in every lawful and legitimate manner. He disclosed that management has instituted a suit at the Federal High Court on the matter.
Do you think it's a net, like if this is successful, do you think it's a net positive or a negative?
Very negative, because there's no road. There's no road to Banana Island. Not to talk of an extra island. If it was going to be an extension from Orange Island, that would have made a whole lot of sense, because you have down Freedom Way. That is a lot of space for cars to drive through. Banana Island. The Banana Island that they're all fighting to gain access to, The road to Banana Island is not good, and nobody has fixed that road in God knows how long. You have one of the most expensive houses in Lagos in Banana Island, but the road to that place is not good. It's very tacky, and it's just it's just one route. You have one way in and one way out. It is not even, and they want to bring more crowd to that kind of place. The whole of that road is a one-way drive. You have only one exit and one entrance to everywhere. Link Bridge roundabout, that roundabout at the end of Link Bridge is the major entrance and and exit from the other way. And to like turn around, you cannot turn around at the middle of that road. You have to drive down to Ikoyi Crescent, that is Mujisola Alakija Crescent. Drive down to that other roundabout just to make a U-turn and get back to the bridge, wherever you are on that road. And that same road links people that walk from, like people that are coming from Aja, Lekki axis in general. That same road leads them back to the mainland, down to Third Mainland Bridge. So there's always like very serious traffic. And then entering Banana Island is there's traffic there sometimes. Sometimes you can be there for up to 20 minutes. When you're literally looking at your gate, but you're just in your car waiting to get home. You're locked out literally, and they want to create another island with that same route.
And the people that have water view that will say, "Oh, I can use my boat."
but you know, there's a general jetty for everyone. Like, yes.
Okay.
For everyone to like
is it not
come
in
and go
Zone
out.
J? Is it not in Zone J?
No, it is at the intersection between the commercial area and the residential area where you have the supermarkets. So there's a jetty at that. So that's like a roundabout. There's a jetty at that place.
You will give it up for Mercy. She's an agent that knows her stuff. So she's educating us on the anatomy of Banana Island.
There's actually several places though. It's just for you to figure it out. There's another place that they could have converted into a jetty at close 302. There's a direct
Do you live in
water
Banana
view
Man?
there. I used to actually.
Sorry.
That's why. That's why I know the details. That part used to be my favorite spot. After jogging in the morning, I'll just go there and sit down. Like I had direct access to the water, and I'll see people who are fishing. Maybe late at night or early hours in the morning, or maybe Sunday afternoon. Sometimes I go there Sunday afternoon. If I'm not there,
so
I'm
now
on the other side.
So now, what would you advise somebody that we have a client that's trying to buy a house, another one trying to buy land?
Yeah.
What would you advise with this going on now? And obviously, what you know about Banana, you're an agent. By the way, I'm able to give you land or house in Banana. But what would you advise? Not professional advice now. Friend to friend.
If I should advise a friend,
your friend.
If I should advise a friend,
I want to buy property in Banana now.
Echo Atlantic, please, because you can use the same money you buy a land in Banana to buy a land in Echo Atlantic. It might be slightly different, but if you can afford Banana, you can afford Echo Atlantic. Echo Atlantic has
almost like 4 million per square meter, right?
Yes, but if you can
like
afford
1 million
Banana,
above,
you can. Yeah, you can definitely afford Echo Atlantic. You might just reduce the square meters you want to buy, but it has a better value. So now, banana, yes, the name is good. The privacy, the service, we thank God. But now, Echo Atlantic has a better planning, like a better urban plan. It is closer to the it's not closer. It is close to. You have direct access to the coastal road. So this means that what people at Banana Island suffer after buying a house of worth billions, you still have to enter traffic to your house. People in Eco Atlantic will never experience that. The VI that's Amadu Bello Way. That lane is you can take 4 cars. It's wider than the Banana Island entrance. So Gerald Road is tight already. I mentioned earlier that Gerald Road, and that is a major road for people coming through the Lekki axis down to the mainland.
Banana.
Because down to the mainland, because Gerald Road links you to Third Mainland Bridge. So now that mainland rush, close hour rush, and everybody's. So now I bought a house of. No offense to people that live on the mainland. I buy a house of 4-point-something B. Let's be realistic.
Wait, is it no offense to people that live on the mainland or live in Banana?
No offense to people that live on the mainland because of what I'm about to say. So I buy a house. I buy a house worth $23 million, $90 million. And then I have to now be struggling with people that are going all the way to the mainland. Just to enter my house of how much? Personally, I'll be pissed. Like, why did I spend so much money to keep struggling to enter the same struggle with everybody?
No exclusivity.
Like nothing. There's no point for spending that amount of money because the class is not obvious. At that moment, we're all in the same traffic. We're all in the same traffic. Now, forget that. Let's look at the positive part where they have everybody can own a boat and like go to work, to and fro. But how many people like water? Water makes some people sick. It's not everybody that would like to be doing that water journey.
Hydrophobia.
Exactly. So, how many of them, like at the end of the day, the road is like the easiest because they need someone to drive the boat. I think it's drive their boats themselves. They need someone to drive the boat for them. So they will have someone that will drive their boats and they have somebody that will drive their car. Well, they have the money to do that, but at the end of the day, you still need road sometimes.
Yeah, no,
you
definitely.
still need road. You still need the road sometimes. At night, nobody may want to be plying the water at night because you cannot see clearly what's in front of you. It's not totally safe at night. At least daytime, everybody can see what's happening.
But to be fair, how many traffic situations do you have at night? Like I'm talking about
because you've not actually stayed there till
10 p.m. Now wow.
Okay, let me give you a very good
small interview. You want to enter me?
Let me give you a very good scenario. Let's say someone owns the project at Ikate. Or maybe someone that lives in Banana went to check one of his investments at Aja. And then he has to enter that traffic all the way from Aja till he gets to Lekki. And then when you get to Lekki, you now be on another traffic. That link bridge traffic is a whole vibe on its own. So you're now on link bridge traffic just to enter your house of $90 million. You're now on that traffic. And then you now finally get to towards your house side. And you maybe on that day everybody in Banana went to work and they are coming back at that time.
So another set of traffic.
Again. Exactly.
Road.
Another traffic again. Will you not just get frustrated spending that amount of money? Now, Eco Atlantic, on the other hand, the road is wider. All the roads are wider, and then you have direct access to Coastal Road, which links you straight through to Ibeji-Lekki.
Yeah, I think the minister said the first stretch of the road would be commissioned by May this year.
Yes, that's what they said. And the road is very fast. I must commend our government We keep complaining about a lot of things they're not doing, but there are a whole lot of things that they are doing right. Coastal Road, for instance, that's the fastest road I've ever seen. The fastest road ever. Not, and it's now an interstate road. I am impressed, very impressed. The government is doing a great job. So now, Eco Atlantic, you have direct access to every other part of Lekki. Literally, every other part of Lekki, direct access. So someone that has, like the man that has a project in Aja, that went to inspect his project, that had to drive all the way to Banana. Imagine if he was living in Eco Atlantic. So now let's say two people are friends, they're going to inspect the same project. The person living in Eco Atlantic will get home and forget that he actually went on a journey. Maybe wake up the next morning only for his friend to tell him, "Oh, guy, do you know what time I got home yesterday?" And they spent almost the same amount of money to acquire that property.
Yeah, because so every single thing that you can get in Banana, you can get in Eco Atlantic, and even at a bigger scale.
Every single thing.
I feel like
Every
even
better
notwithstanding
thing,
the access road, Banana, it feels too cramped up. You know, it's exclusive in the terms of exclusive, but like with Eco Atlantic, you have the rugby school, Eco Atlantic Academy, you have the Okadeco Mall, you have the areas you have the Hakuna Matata, whatnot.
Yeah.
The park. There's just a lot of the roads are interlocked. Nice road. You have also a marina as well, and then you have office complexes, commercial, mixed use, residential areas. So if you're looking to purchase a property in Eco Atlantic or Banana Island, if all we've said so far is not enough to scare you, then you can contact us to get started on your journey. But that is it on Eco Atlantic.
Imagine adding Apple Island to this whole to the whole Banana Island stress. Same route.
Honestly, but before we leave, what is about Lagos and fruit names? After Banana Island, we had Orange
Island.
Now I want to do Apple Island.
Apple.
Somebody said there is Agbalumo that.
But at least there was Snake Island. Sorry,
Snake Island. Like somebody says, when they reach Agbalumo, that's when they'll buy.
But the thing is that
there's Apple
Banana Island is shaped like a banana, literally.
Yeah.
Literally shaped like a banana. But Orange Island, I don't think so.
Orange Island wants to feel among. That's what. But then so Apple Junction though in Festac, yeah.
That's where Apple Island's supposed to be, right?
But why was it called Apple? Why was it called Apple Junction? Well,
I have no idea.
These people have stopped me there before. What's your name? Great tips. Anyway, that's another gist for another day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Mercy.
You're welcome.
Hopefully we'll be getting more and more in this channel to wheel on more and more issues. If you got value, can you like, can you share, can you subscribe, drop a comment, contact us to get your property in Lagos. We'll be happy to help you. See you on the very next video. Bye-bye.